Good evening, everyone. Welcome to A Controversial World with John. Today I've got two very disturbing, disgusting stories for you, and I've got a few questions for each story of your opinion of how you feel. So, this first story comes from Iowa. Iowa. I'm always bad with that name. Officials have decided to release a convicted child molester from incarceration due to the belief that a recent sex change lowered the offender's testosterone levels, making the felony less likely to reoffend. Okay, with that much being said, anyone knows how sex offenders work. It doesn't really matter about the testosterone or anything in their sex life or how they feel. I mean, you can cut someone's penis off or slice up a woman's vagina is not going to matter. Most sex offenders, it's not in their private parts or in their blood, it is in their mind. And yeah, a lot of you are going to say, well, testosterone and stuff that people transition into another sex is in their mind. Well, yeah, it is, but the way I feel about that it needs to be looked at a little further because we can't just use an excuse of, well, we're going to sit here, we're going to change our sex, and then everything's going to be fine. That's not how it works. I mean, it goes that old saying, once a cheater, always a cheater. Well, once a molester, always a molester. But anyway, let me read the rest of the story and then we'll discuss a little more. Jose Smith, a biological male, was convicted of second-degree sexual abuse against a female victim in 2012, and lascivious, a lascivious act with a child against a male in 2014. Smith was sentenced to prison in 2015. It is believed that Smith, whose birth name is Joseph Matthew Smith, molested as many as 15 people ranging from ages 1 to 13, according to the report prepared by state expert Dr. Jeffrey Davis. Okay, so earlier I said Jose, sorry about that. It's Josie Smith. My bad. But we'll continue. This is a sick pervert right here that's trying to change his sex and her sex, whatever you want to call it. I'm so sick of this crap right now. If any of y'all aren't disturbed by it, y'all got some problems yourself. The state is now arguing that Smith's low testosterone levels as a result of hormone treatment that Smith began in 2017 lowers the likelihood that Smith will offend again. We don't believe we have evidence sufficient to prove Josie Smith has a significant chance of reoffending, the representative from Iowa Attorney General's office said last week. The Attorney General's office tried to reassure the public that the release does not mean Smith will not still be closely monitored. Josie Smith will be subject to strict sex offenders reporting requirements of those who commit the crimes he did. Forget that she stuff. He'll be subject to supervision for the rest of his life. Iowa Attorney General's office spokesperson Lynn Hicks said. Okay, so on this first story, I said I've got two. I just want to know what your opinions. Do you think just because they are on hormone replacement medications that's going to change any way they look at a child or whatever at this point? I mean, molestation is not as simple as just changing hormones. It's not even as simple as if you sit there and you cut off a penis or something like that. Studies been shown that. I mean, you can do castration even with chemicals. It's not going to matter. Chemical castration has no effect. It's in your mind, so they'll still find a way to get their jollies for real. So, like I said, with that being said, how do you feel about it? That's why I was not big on the Obama bathroom bill. That, well, yeah, transgender male, woman, I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm not that educated on that. It's none of my, I'm not really worried about it. You have a certain part you go to that damn bathroom. That's all I'm worried about. Because if I find a male going into a bathroom with my daughter, that's your ass. I don't care what the sign says. So that's why I wasn't that big on it. But at the same time, I mean, we all saw Michelle Obama. And if you caught the right pictures, you saw she was packing pretty good. And we know Obama had a few things that happened for some cocaine in the back of a limo, but I'm going to leave it alone. Not my business. That's their business. But I never agreed with the bathroom bill in the first place, and I will never agree with it. And this furthermore shows why a male should never go to the female bathroom or a female should never go to the male bathroom. We have plenty of female teachers out here doing stuff with the children in high schools. And they get away with way more than they should compared to the male teachers. But if I were to go into the female bathroom, I would expect someone to whoop my ass for going in there. But now it's gotten to the point of where I don't want my daughter going to the female bathroom by herself. And she's 13, so it's getting kind of messed up. Y'all need to decide what y'all going to do. I'm fine with staying outside of the female bathroom by myself. But let somebody come out there who looks like they could be a male. Guess what? You might have some questions. You're making stuff difficult for everybody. So I'm gonna pass that one. And this next story is a little different, but this is something else. That the women need to be aware of because I see it too much in a lot of women I know. They so it's a Minnesota man. He was convicted Tuesday of raping his then girlfriend's 4-year-old twin daughters and giving them a sexually transmitted disease, according to the report. Now, I don't know anybody that their children has went through getting the transmitted diseases. And I mean, we've all heard of kids going through possible rapes or molestation. But the part I have heard, I mean, that does bother me is too many women are too quick to just move a man into their house. And that's where the problem comes from. Women, y'all have got to understand. I mean, y'all move men in all the time, whether it's sexual abuse, physical abuse, verbal abuse. It happens too damn much. And you're letting it happen. You're letting men move in and don't have a damn job to watch your kids. Well, if he can't get a damn job, what the hell does he need to be watching the kids? He's got no business. He's too lazy to do that. And you're dumb enough to move him in. There's some real messed up stuff in your head along with in his head. A woman should not be moving a man in that can't take care of himself. And it happens way too often. But the biggest deal is, I don't care. Okay, if you're a single woman and you want to move a dude into your house, fine, do it. But if you have kids and you want to move a man into your house, And what makes it even worse, if he has kids and he doesn't have anything to do with them, that makes it even worse. But if you want to move a man in your house, feel free if you don't have kids. But do not move a man in your house if you have kids. It's the dumbest thing I've heard. I don't know why all women are doing it. Because the craziest thing is, most women that do this are women who have themselves been sexually abused. And most of them have been abused by people their family knew. But it happens all the time. Y'all need to stop this shit. It's not funny. It's not a good look. Okay, but let me continue with the story. So I read the part where his girlfriend had two twin daughters, and he ended up getting one sexually transmitted disease. So let me just go with this. Arturo Marcano Gartires, I'm not even going to act like I know the name, 36, was arrested on October 2018 after one of the girls told her grandmother her daddy hurt her. Pioneer Press reported the girl was taken to the hospital where she tested positive for gonorrhea. Gartres, forget it. I don't give a damn. His name's not even worth learning, for real. He's a piece of shit. Was arrested after a SWAT team found him hiding in the attic at a home in St. Paul. He denied raping the 4-year-old, but was charged after he tested positive for gonorrhea as well. He was subsequently charged with assaulting the girl's sister when she also tested positive for the disease. Gartres, I don't mess this name up plenty of times, and I really don't care, like I said, was convicted on 4 counts of criminal sexual misconduct. His defense has not commented on the verdict. Cases involving sexual assault on young children possess significant barriers since they do not possess the language to describe the acts, may not understand that abuse was wrong, and are susceptible to intimidation and manipulation by the offender, Ramsey County Attorney John Choi said in a statement. According to the St. Paul Pioneer Press, this verdict is attributable to the tremendous courage of the young victims and willingness of caring adults to believe them. Too bad the mother was a little more caring like the darn grandparents. This is what's messed up on here. But anyway, I continue. Gutierrez is scheduled to be sentenced in April, and Assistant Ramsey County Attorney Don R. Bask plans to request a longer sentence than the state guidelines calls for, according to the Pioneer Press. Alright, so you've seen that story as well. Now, this attorney, I hope they get what they want, because if the attorney doesn't get what they want, oh, it's fine anyway, because the inmates will probably take care of him, and I hope they do. I hope they give him everything he has coming for him. It's messed up. But as I said before, this is why women or men, we'll put it this way, but it happens so much more with women. You need to know who you have around your child. But if a man ain't shit, forget it. I done probably said that enough times in this video anyway. So it don't matter. If he's not shit, don't bring him around your kids. If he doesn't have a job himself, or house himself, or vehicle himself even, but a vehicle ain't even that important. But the man needs to have a job and a house of his own. We ain't talking about living mommy, daddy, grandma, whatever. If he does not have his own place, and you know it's because he ain't worth nothing, you don't move him in with your kids. I mean, not just for a babysitter. Forget that. The worst type of babysitter you can have, women. Y'all got to get yourselves together. Too many women these days are just looking for a hookup and a babysitter. Y'all need to watch out for these kids. Because what y'all ain't getting, most of y'all, like I said earlier, y'all have went through the same things that you're putting your kids through. It's a cycle. It happens over and over. Stop this shit. It's getting old. Because until you women get your stuff together and stop this, or men, whoever, may have these kids and letting this stupid crap happen, it's going to continue. It's an endless cycle. Possibly, he probably went through it himself. So y'all just remember the stuff I've talked to you in this video about. You got your trannies or whatever they want to be called. I don't give a damn. Molesting people. You got some. I don't know this dude's whole background. I didn't look it up. I don't really give a damn. He's nothing but a piece of shit. People like him doing whatever they doing. Quit having these type of people around your kids. But at the same time, you got to remember, just because they transitioning, don't mean they shit either. People, y'all gotta watch out for your kids. If you ain't protecting them, ain't nobody gonna protect them. And if you're not gonna protect them, give them somebody that will care about them. Luckily, the grandmother of the piece of shit that he was dating was worried about the kids probably more than he was. I mean, than the mother was. But y'all, we got to start looking out for these kids. Every day, more and more happening to them. With that being said, hit that like, share, and subscribe button and click that little bell for the notifications. Because I'm going to start posting more and more. And hopefully, people will see some videos I post of people that maybe they didn't know they were pieces of shits. But I'll post them and somehow be like, ooh, he's around my family. Or she's around my family. I gotta get them motherfuckers locked up. With that being said, everybody have a nice day and peace.